Heads up, we are now going live on YouTube. All right, good afternoon. I am Jessica Carroll, the program lead for Measure 110. I'll be serving as your facilitator for today's meeting. The Oversight and Accountability Council welcomes and encourages community input. Members of the public are invited to submit public comments or get on our interested parties list email by emailing oha.measure110@dhsoha.state.or.us. That email address and more information about the council can be found on the Measure 110 OAC website. Sydney will drop the link in the chat. For more information or support with community engagement, please contact me, Jessica Carroll. Sydney will drop my email in the chat. Thank you, Sydney. OAC members have asked that OHA and other staff who are present in the meeting space introduce themselves in the chat. Please share your role with the agency, and if you are a subject matter expert, your area of expertise. Because this is a voting subcommittee, we will be asking for subcommittee members to declare any conflicts of interest that they may have. We will request these declarations before each full county. So if you'd like to declare conflicts for the entire county, you may do so then. Additionally, we will be asking for potential or actual conflict of interest declarations before each organization is discussed. So please declare any conflicts when prompted by the facilitator. Please remember that if you do declare an actual conflict of interest, we ask that you mute your microphone and turn off your camera. We will let you know in the chat when it is time for you to return. If you have a potential conflict, you may remain in the room and vote after you declare it if you choose to do so. I also want to acknowledge that we have live captioning, both in English and Spanish, for today's meeting, and that link is dropped in the chat. All right, thank you. And now I'm going to turn it over to Walter to take roll.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. And you could just respond here for attendance. Start from the top. Melinda.
I'm here.
All right.
Here.
All right. Okay, and back to you, Jessica. We've got 6 and we've met quorum.
Fantastic. All right, so we have 6 members, and we have a few members or a member who may need to leave. So we are going to go ahead and address the organizations for which we know there are known conflicts of interest now, so that we can get them voted on with enough votes to either pass or not pass. So the first organization that we're going to talk about is Oregon Recovers. And I just want to let you know, because we're doing it this way, I'm going to be toggling between a few spreadsheets, so just bear with me. So the first one is Oregon Recovers. If you have a conflict of interest with Oregon Recovers, please declare it now.
I have a conflict of interest with Oregon Recovers, Lakeisha.
Okay, thank you, Keisha. Go ahead and mute yourself, and we will let you know when to come back in. Amy, if you're wondering where Oregon Recovers is, it's in your Multnomah County 2 workbook.
Okay, that answered my question. So we're in Multnomah County 2 still.
So we're going to be toggling between them, likely. Yes.
Between 1 and 2?
Between 1 and 2, so just open 2. I think
Okay.
that's where a majority of them are, but we may need to go to 1.
Okay, and Oregon, and you said Oregon Recovers?
Oregon Recovers, yes.
And what is their shorthand?
Okay, so you're a Multnomah County 2.
Yeah.
Oregon Recovers is under OR Recovers 1 and OR Recovers 2.
I see it now. Thank you very much.
Yep. So let me just go ahead and do my little spiel. Okay, so Oregon Recovers is applying to provide peer support in Multnomah County. You have two recommendations. One recommendation is no partial and the other is no. You can find those recommendations under OR Recovers 1 and the OR Recovers 2 tab in your Multnomah County 2 workbook. And with that, I'm going to send it over to the subcommittee for discussion and or vote.
This is Ron. This is one of the proposals that I reviewed, and I'm in agreement with the reviewers to not fund Oregon Recovers. What they're proposing is a statewide cell phone app, and to me, it didn't meet any of the Measure 110 purposes or intent.
I second.
Okay, so we have was that a motion, Ron?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor from Ron not to fund Oregon Recovers in Multnomah County. We have a second from Hubert. Any more discussion? Hearing none, Walter.
Okay. Oregon Recovers, motion on the table not to fund. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
not to fund.
Okay. Onisha?
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I had a child. So did someone second Ron's?
Yes, it was Hubert.
Okay.
So it's on you. The motion on the table is not to fund Oregon Recovers. How do you vote?
Can I abstain?
Okay. All right. Ron?
Yes, not to fund.
Okay. Amy?
Yes, not to fund.
Okay. Hubert?
Yes, not to fund.
Okay. That passes with 4, not to fund Oregon Recovers Multnomah County. Turn it back to you, Jessica.
Thank you. Can somebody call Lakeisha back? Thank you. I believe the next one on our list where there was a known conflict of interest already declared in our previous meeting is the fourth dimension. Keisha, are you back?
Yep, and I declare a conflict of interest, so I'm gone again.
All right. Anyone else like to declare a conflict of interest with the fourth dimension? Okay, hearing none. The fourth dimension is applying to provide peer support, housing, and harm reduction in Multnomah County. In your Multnomah County 2 workbook, Amy. You have two recommendations. Both are yes to fund, and you can find these applications under under 4D1 and the 4D2 tabs in your Multnomah County 2 workbook. You have to scroll way down, as you could hear from my scrolling. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and send it over to the subcommittee for some discussion and a vote.
I make a motion to fund fourth dimension.
I second.
All right, we have a motion on the table from Onisha to fund the Fourth Dimension Recovery Center. We have a second from Amy. Any discussion?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that this was the proposal that was assigned to our group and to me, and I read it. I think it's a solid proposal. It's well written, and I like the housing support that they're providing, the culturally specific peers, and the fact that they'll be having a focus on hiring an LGBTQ2IA plus coordinator. We'll be having recovery house, harm reduction supplies, and client support expenses that were really good. And so I support this proposal.
Fantastic. Any more discussion? Are we ready for a vote? All right, hearing none. Walter,
Okay. Motion on the table to fund Fourth Dimension, Multnomah County. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes to fund.
All right. Onisha,
Yes to fund.
okay. Ron,
Yes.
okay. Amy,
Yes.
all right. Hubert,
Yes.
okay. That passes with 5 to fund Fourth Dimension, Multnomah County. Back to you, Jessica.
fantastic. Thank you so much, Walter. I'm going through and using my mind as my memory as a reference here. I believe the next organization where there was a stated, oh, can we call Keisha? Oh, thank you. You already did it, Sydney. You're the best. The next organization where there was a stated conflict of interest is the Mental Health and Addiction Association of Oregon.
Oh my
If
back.
If you'd like to declare conflict of interest with the Mental Health and Addiction Association of Oregon, please do so now.
I declare conflict of interest and I will disappear.
Well, don't disappear, but thank you for muting yourself and turning your camera off. All right. Any others? Hearing none. All right. The mental health. Oh, I gotta get there. So sorry. Oh, here we go. The Mental Health and Addiction Association of Oregon is applying to provide peer support, housing, and harm reduction. You have 2 recommendations. Those recommendations are both yes. You can find their application under the MHAAO1 and MHAAO2 tabs in your Multnomah County 2 workbook. Handing over to the subcommittee for discussion or a vote.
This is Ron. This is one that I reviewed as well, and I agree with the reviewers to fund MHAAO of Oregon and Multnomah County. In terms of the budget, they do have a significant budget to develop housing, 80 units of permanent housing, and for me, that's an incredibly good value for housing that's going to be ongoing, permanent in Multnomah County. My hope is that well, anyway, I just think it's a tremendous proposal and I support it, and I would recommend that we fund MHAO of Multnomah County. It's a tremendous proposal with a recovery center and an investment in housing that's going to be ongoing over time.
I second.
Thanks, Ron. So we have a motion on the floor from Ron to fund the Mental Health and Addiction Association of Oregon and Multnomah County. We have a second from Melinda. Any discussion? Hearing none. Walter.
Motion on the table to fund MHAAO, Multnomah County. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes to fund.
Okay. Onisha, I'll come back to Onisha. Ron,
Yes.
okay. Amy,
Yes.
okay. And Hubert,
Yes to fund.
okay. And Onisha, all right. Well, that passes with 4, Jessica. So I'll just turn it back over to you, Jessica.
Oh, okay, thank you. 1 second.
She gets on the phone.
Sorry, that was Onisha. She is trying to get back into the meeting.
Okay.
Oh, there she is, admitting.
Let her audio get on.
Hello, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
I was literally screaming. I was going crazy. So I'm hoping that the vote didn't pass. I was saying that I'm requesting the documents to read them over.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the vote did pass. I would have to call and find out, unless somebody, I don't even know what to do here.
Because I was literally trying to speak and you guys couldn't hear me.
So
Right.
I think we
So
should.
this was my issue. They're asking for $7 million. It
Oh.
doesn't seem like this is an African American organization. And although it is great, is there some type of way that we're going to have an enforcement that they're going to look out for BIPOC populations? Are there going to be some set aside beds out of these 80 beds? They're asking for more money put together than a lot of these organizations put together.
So, I'm sorry, was somebody else gonna speak? I don't want to interrupt anybody. Okay.
Can I change my vote?
I don't know. Can you all give me a second so I can call somebody
Yeah.
and find out exactly I've never had this
Yeah,
happen.
because I couldn't even speak. I literally, you could see my face and I was waving my hand and I was screaming and you guys couldn't hear me. I had to
Yeah.
call Jessica on the phone.
Yeah, we couldn't see you or hear you.
Yeah, so we probably should redo it.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hey, Walter, can you take us to a 10-minute break? Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, let's take a break. It's 4:30 now. We'll come back at 4:40. Everybody.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Yeah.
Jessica, are you back?
She's not back yet.
Okay.
I didn't know they was asking for that much money.
I think they said till 440.
They
I don't
said
think they're
7 million.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that much money. I didn't know it was that much.
And I don't have a problem with it, but it's like 12% of the entire budget for
Yeah, that's-
Multnomah County.
Yeah.
It's 12%. We only got 58 million for Multnomah County, and we're gonna give 12% to one organization.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I do want to remind us that,
Most impacted by those most impacted by the war on drugs, and I think they're a great organization, but. And also, I don't think they should call the vote if somebody is here at the beginning of the meeting and all of a sudden you can't hear from that person. How
Yeah,
can you call
that's
the vote?
that's
And
why I want to vote.
I'm
Because I
calling.
don't like I didn't do that either. I should vote it.
so
Okay.
just so
They don't know
that,
the person
I
that's
keep
audio's not
getting
working is
interrupted.
gonna call for the documents or what? Like, I'm pissed.
So,
What'd you say, Ryan?
Can I say something?
Yes.
First, I want to acknowledge that you're angry, and I'm sorry that it went down that way. I apologize. That was not an intention. So here I have. Is everybody back? Hubert's back.
I'm here.
Ron, you're back. Melinda's back. Keisha's not here because of the conflict. Okay. So I just got off the phone with Allison. And here's the thing. Onisha, if you would like to make a motion to not fund MHAO, you can do that. It would need a second, and then we would need to vote on it. So would you like to make that motion?
Can I make a motion to look at the documents or make a motion to partially fund if those are my only choices? I don't want to not fund them, but can I make a motion to partially fund them?
I believe you can. Yes.
I second that for the partial.
Well,
I make a motion to partially fund.
okay, so we have a motion on the table from Onisha to partially fund. Hubert?
Second.
We have a second from Hubert. Okay, so.
Are those my only option? There's no way that I could read the proposal at this point?
So.
This sounds like it's not. I don't want to make it too difficult, but moving forward, you guys need to make sure that the person whose audio isn't working isn't someone who may request the right to get those proposals and those budgets before we vote. Because this just took my rights right out the water because my Wi-Fi had a glitch.
Okay, so I think, so number one, you're right, Onisha. I'm just gonna call it out. You are correct. We did not know your audio wasn't working, but you are 100% correct. It was not done on purpose. So we have a motion on the table to partially fund from Onisha. We have a second from Hubert. Is there any more discussion?
so I'd like to say a few things. So Onisha raised a concern about the organization being culturally responsive.
Not culturally specific. I said because I did not read the proposal, which was my right to be able to request it, which my right is gone now. I would have been able to read it for myself to ensure that these 80 beds are going to be impactful for those most impacted by the war on drugs. You see what I'm saying?
I hear where you're
without reading the proposal, there's no factual way that I will be able to see that. Now I'll never know. That right is gone for me. So that was the only thing. I would come back, Ron, and maybe say the same thing you said, fund the whole project, but now I'll never know. I was gonna request to read the documents for myself, and now I cannot.
Would we have a unanimous vote to table this, to rescind? would we have a unanimous vote to rescind?
I would just like to make a couple statements.
Okay, but just real quick, I hear that, and I want to give you space too, Ron.
Okay,
Okay, so whatever we vote on has to pass. So
Right.
Onisha, what do you want the motion to be? Do you want it to be to table this? Do you want it to be and get the application? Do you want it to be to partially fund? What do you want your motion to be? It's gonna have to be voted on, whatever it is. So
Ideally, I would like to table it and read it for myself. That way, because if I say partially fund, you guys
Yeah.
can knock off, if we had enough money to go around for everybody, which we don't. And so
Right.
my problem is if we're looking out for those most impacted by the war on drugs, and we only have $58 million set aside to Multnomah County,
Mhm.
and this organization is asking for $7 million, who is that? And if we say fully fund him, and I defer to Ron, I respect him to the fullest, but what organization is that gonna knock out the box?
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? And for those who are,
so there's two things I want to say. Actually, three. But, so the first thing I want to say is that we were given specific direction from the Office of Contracts and Procurement that we cannot use the amount that's allocated to the counties as a justification for funding or not funding an organization. That's number one. Number two, the bulk of so just in terms of purchasing the land to construct, there's a one-time cost of $4 million. That's the only thing that's for, is to purchase the land for the construction. They're not asking for a construction cost, just to purchase the land. So it's a one-time cost, and what I was gonna say before I realized that I can't really talk about how much money is available for the county, is that it was my hope that in the one-time cost, there would still be money remaining in the one-time cost that would absorb that $4 million. And the third thing was just, I was gonna read through what they say about culturally specific entities, or being able to provide culturally specific services. It's a full one page, but because Onisha doesn't have it, I want Onisha to have it so that she can make an informed decision. So we're just, whatever you want to propose. I mean, if you're saying partial, I'm for that. If you're saying table, I'm for that.
All right.
I would like to table honestly so that I can read it. So that way I can recommend what would be partially. And I would be willing to discuss that with you, Ron, because I want to be fair.
Okay.
Okay.
all right. So it sounds like we have a motion to table the Mental Health and Addiction Association of Oregon for Multnomah County. No, we're good. Sydney, we're good. We're good. I talked to yeah, we're fine. So we have a motion on the table to fund wow, I'm doing too much right now. We have a motion on the table to table the Mental Health and Addiction Association of Oregon. We have from Onisha, we have a second from Hubert. Any more discussion? Walter.
All right, motion to table, MHAAO. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes to table.
Okay. Onisha,
Yes, to table.
okay. Ron,
Yes.
okay. Amy,
Yes.
all right. Hubert,
Yes, table.
okay. So that passes with 5 to table, MHAAO, Multnomah County. Back to you.
On my own 2 feet.
Thank you. And can I just thank everybody in this meeting for supporting your subcommittee colleague here. And that was handled really well. I'm sorry I didn't have those answers immediately, but I'm learning. So, all right. And just to acknowledge Onisha, we apologize for moving that motion without you. All right, can somebody call Lakeisha back in, please? All right. The next organization, I believe that there was a stated conflict of interests, was the Miracles Club. If you have a conflict of interest and would like to declare it for the Miracles Club, please do so now.
I have a conflict of interest with the Miracles Club.
Thank
And
you.
I have a conflict of interest too.
Okay, thank you both. Please mute yourselves and your camera's already turned off. That leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4 with Keisha. Keisha, you're back?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna get this done. Okay. The next organization, well, I already said that. Okay. The Miracles Club is applying to provide peer support and housing in Multnomah County. You have 2 recommendations. One is yes, and one is yes partial. You can find those recommendations in your Multnomah County 2 workbook under Miracles Club and Miracles Club 2 tabs. To the subcommittee.
This was a proposal that I reviewed as well as the OHA reviewers. And this was one that we thought was a strong proposal. In my rubric, when I submitted to OHA, I recommended yes to fund this application. And I would make a motion to fund Miracles Club.
I second.
All right, we have a motion from Ron to fund the Miracles Club. We have a second from Melinda. Any more discussion? Hearing none. Walter?
Give me 1 second.
When you're ready.
Yep. Okay. Motion to fund Miracles Club. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes to fund.
Okay. Ron?
Yes.
Okay. Amy?
Yes.
Okay. And Keisha?
Yes.
All right. That passes with 4 to fund Miracles Club, Multnomah County. Back to you, Jeff.
All right, thank you. All right, I believe that is all of the organizations that we have declared conflicts of interest for from our parking lot. Am I correct? Does everybody have their agenda? They can see it.
I never got that list.
The agenda?
Yeah, I never got it.
Oh, okay.
Somebody could shoot it to me just so I know which ones we're doing. So
Sure.
I
Sydney?
can adjust my pile.
Okay. Sydney will send that to you just as soon as she comes back. All right, so the next organization that you are going to consider is in your Multnomah County 1 workbook. Everybody got their Multnomah County 1 workbook out? Perfect. I'm hearing that. Okay, the first organization from Multnomah County 1 workbook is Bright Transitions. If you have a conflict of interest with Bright Transitions, please declare it now. Bright Transitions is applying to provide housing in Multnomah County. You have 2 reviewers. One says no partial. One says yes. You can find that in the Bright Transitions 1 and Bright Transitions 2 tab in your Multnomah County 1 workbook. Sending back to the subcommittee.
County 1.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that we hadn't told Onisha and Hubert they could come back.
I'm back.
Okay, Onisha, you back?
Yep.
Okay. Never mind, Sydney had done it. Okay.
So it sounds like with the bright transition, the biggest question was the building acquisition. Can we recommend to partially fund and take that off the table?
You have the ability to fund only the program and not the real property, yes. Is that a motion?
I like to make that motion.
All right. So it sounds like we have a motion from Onisha to fund Bright Transitions for their program and not the real property.
I second that motion.
We have a second from Amy. Any discussion? Hearing none. Walter? When you're there, sorry.
Okay. And motion to partially fund Bright Transition, Monona County. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes, to partially fund.
Okay.
Hold on, Melinda. The motion wasn't to partially fund, it was to fund program and not real property.
Yes, to fund the program and not real property.
Thank you, Melinda.
Okay. Make sure we have that in the note. Okay. Onisha?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Ron?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Hubert?
Yes.
Okay. And Keisha?
Yes.
You mean now?
Mute your phone, Hubert.
All right. Yep. That passes with 6. To fund Bright Transitions, Monona County. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you, Walter. The next organization that you will be considering from the parking lot is Just Men in Recovery. We are still in our Multnomah County 1 workbook. Just Men, does anyone would like to declare a conflict of interest for Just Men in Recovery? Hearing none. Just Men in Recovery is applying to provide peer support, housing, and harm reduction in Multnomah County. There are 2 recommendations. Both are yes. You can find them under the Just Men 1 and Just Men 2 tabs in your Multnomah County 1 workbook. Yes, Amy.
I thought we did this one. Why does this sound familiar?
Because it
got
was
tabled.
tabled. We're in that table.
Oh. All right, all right.
Yeah, it was tabled so that everybody could get the proposal and the budget and read through it.
All right. I was just like, I know we talked about this. Okay, thank you. Thank you for answering that.
So this isn't a motion. This is part of the discussion. I'm moving toward partially funding. Does anyone have any recommendations about what they would partially fund after reading the documents?
Well, after reading the document, I couldn't see what the concern was, and because I was generally following the conversation, but I could not identify the specific concern that had been brought up regarding and it was not something that was part of the application, was whether or not the staff were all people in recovery or not. And
Oh,
that
I
was,
don't remember that comment, but
yeah.
Either.
All right,
Yeah.
so that's the only thing I remember from the discussion.
yeah, I don't remember that part. But yeah, I'll move to partially fund.
I have when I'm reading through here and it looks like they do a lot of hotel vouchers and they help people with like deposits and couple months of rent, it says, and things like that. And so but this is just for men, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't
I would second the partial fund.
I wasn't making a motion. I think we're still in discussion because this was something
Sorry.
and we had tabled it because people had some questions and wanted to see the budget and the proposal.
Yeah, I just
So if you're making a motion, Amy, I second it.
yeah, I would make a motion to partially fund.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Amy to partially fund Just Men in Recovery in Multnomah County. We have a second from Ron. Any more discussion? Hearing none. Walter,
All right. Motion on the table to partially fund Just Men in Recovery, Multnomah County. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes, to partially fund.
Okay. Onisha?
Yes.
All right. Ron?
Yes.
Okay. Amy?
Yes.
Hubert?
Yes.
And Keisha?
Yes.
All right. That passes with 6 to partially fund Just Men in Recovery, Multnomah County. Back to you, Jessica.
thanks, Walter. All right. The next organization that you will consider is Mind Solutions. We are still in your Multnomah County 1 workbooks. If anyone would like to declare a conflict of interest with Mind Solutions, please do so now. Hearing none. Mind Solutions is applying to provide SUD treatment, peer support, housing, harm reduction, and supported employment in Multnomah County. You have 2 recommendations. They are both no. You can find those in your Mind Solutions 1 and Mind Solutions 2 tabs in the Multnomah County 1 workbook. And with that, I'll throw it back to the subcommittee.
So you said they were both no?
Both of the recommendations were no.
For Mind Solutions?
Yes, that's in your Multnomah County 1 workbook.
I'm looking at it, Jess, and Leslie Beister said yes.
It says double request in one county, excessive budget request. They've already been approved. It's not in alignment. There's a bunch of stuff in the notes, but I can't find my Mind Solutions number 2. I know my thing ain't pulling it up. So
So if there's a little arrow down at the bottom, just keep
No.
it.
Yeah, I'll make a motion not to fund.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion from Onisha not to fund Mind Solutions in Multnomah County. We have a second from Amy. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. Walter,
All right. Motion on the table not to fund Mind Solutions, Multnomah County. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes, not to fund.
Okay. Onisha?
Yes, not to fund.
Okay. Ron?
Yeah, I would say I would vote yes, not to fund based on the fact that this appears to be a second proposal from the same organization. So it looks like there's two applications at Multnomah County for this one organization.
Mm-hmm.
And based on that, I would vote yes, not to fund.
Okay. Amy?
Yes, not to fund.
Okay. Hubert?
Yes, not to fund.
All right. And Keisha?
Yes.
All right. That passes with 6, not to fund. Mind Solutions, Multnomah County. Back to you, Jessica.
All right, thank you. The next organization on your agenda that we haven't covered is the Pathfinder Network of Oregon. We are jumping to our Multnomah County Workbook 2 for this. Would anyone like to declare a conflict of interest with Pathfinder Network of Oregon? Hearing none, the Pathfinder, and I have to go to my Multnomah County 2 workbook. Here we go. The Pathfinder Network of Oregon is applying to provide SUD treatment and peer support in Multnomah County. There are 2 recommendations. Both are yes. You can find those under your Pathfinder 1, Pathfinder 1 and Pathfinder 2 tabs in your Multnomah County Work 2 workbook.
Jessica, am I looking at the right thing? Is it Pathfinders of Oregon, or are there 2 of those or something? Because I'm not seeing any SUD. All I'm seeing is peer.
Yeah, I'm not seeing SUD either. I was about to say that same thing.
Okay, so that like you are correct. I'm not seeing it either. That was just a typo on my side. Sorry.
All right, no, that's cool. I just wanted to be sure that I'm not missing something, because I don't want to miss nothing, but they're not. That all they're doing is peer services.
That is correct.
Okay, all right.
So I'm looking for it again because it's something that I requested, but it looks, when I was looking at the budget, it looked like they were asking for multiple services in multiple places for the same thing, but I'm trying to pull it back up.
What do you mean multiple of same thing?
So
And
like
they're asking
for like
they're
staff,
asking
for like
for $1 million for peers.
Peer outreach events starting at $2,500.
and like for the technology, it was in like 3 different places for the same software and technology. Let me look. Let me pull it up so I can be 100.
Yeah, that looks like for a lot. That's a lot of money for computers and.
Okay, you can open that door.
So just so you know, we sent you all budget in this application. So
Mhm.
in your email.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my email got all screwed up, so I don't know where it went. But I'm looking. Huh. I don't know. Still don't see $1 million for peers. Mm-mm. I don't know. I'd make a motion to partially fund.
All right. Amy has made a motion to partially fund. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Amy to partially fund the Pathfinder Network. We have a second from Ron. Is there any discussion? Hearing none.
I was just looking for the to see the populations being served.
Yeah, that's what I was wanted to ask, but never mind.
They were quite extensive on the population being served. They listed everything out, lower income houses, individuals, Hispanics, Latinx.
Yeah, I think the question was about the budget.
Right, that's why I don't want to fully fund. I don't believe they need that much. That's why I said I recommended partial funding, because they don't need that much.
We can move the vote.
Okay.
Okay, we can move the vote. Cool.
All right. All right. Motion on the table to partially fund Pathfinder Club of Oregon, Multnomah County. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes to partially fund.
Okay. Onisha? Uh-oh. Onisha, are you there?
Yes, I vote yes to partially fund. Thank you, Walter.
I got you. Yes, indeed. All right, Ron?
What was that?
Yes.
You have to stop putting your.
Okay. Amy?
Yes.
Okay. Hubert?
Yes to partially fund.
Okay. And Keisha?
Yes.
All right. That passes with 6 to partially fund Pathfinders Club of Oregon, Multnomah County. And back to you.
Thank you. The next organization you all will be considering is Portland Street Medicine. If anyone has a conflict of interest with Portland Street Medicine, please declare it now. Hearing none. Portland Street Medicine is applying to provide SUD treatment, peer support, harm reduction, and supported employment in Multnomah County. There are 2 recommendations. One is yes and one is yes partial. You can find those recommendations under the PSM1 and PSM2 tabs in your Multnomah County 2 workbook.
Can you repeat the name again, Jessica?
Yeah, Portland Street Medicine.
Okay, thank you.
I need a second. I got to toggle between what was sent, what wasn't sent. Hold on.
They listed as PSM, you guys. That's why.
Yep, PSM1 and PSM2.
one of the writers had concerns about the upper leadership's salaries.
This is the one that got sent out, huh?
Did anybody on our team request these budgets yet? Stop
I have the
banging on
budget.
that door.
This is one that we reviewed and on our team. And I have the budget and what they're asking for their executive staff is the executive director at 2 hours a week, a total of 10 grand over the period of the whole contract or proposal. And then, so that was the executive director. And then they have director of services at 8 hours a week. That's 40 grand over the life of the proposal. So I thought this was a good proposal. I thought it was reasonable and well-defined services. It's $485,725 total.
Somebody said partially fund. Do you guys want to move the partially fund?
Real quick, Ron, does the do they have peers and is the salary livable wage? That's all I want to know.
So what they have is lived experience contractors, lived experience program coordinator, peer resource navigator. Those are the positions that are listed. And the lived experience contractors, they have it listed, the way it's written is 150 hours at $40 an hour.
And exactly what they're gonna be doing, street outreach?
So they do an SUD treatment, which is primarily MAT and peer support services. It says this grant would allow a pathway to expand our peer staffing focused on addiction, mental health, and recovery. Their work would concentrate on harm reduction, medicated-assisted treatment, supported employment mentorship, in addition to our skin and soft tissue infection education and training. Our lived experience program coordinator will support this work, will support the work of the part-time peer staff and peer wound care technician and lived experience consultant. And the part-time peer resource navigator would aid in our MAT program, and our medical care coordinators patient care, and would and additional startups costs. Existing organizational staff hours can be found in their attached budget. In terms of their
I would like to
philosophy.
make a motion to partially fund.
Can I say something fast?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just wondering about the peer doing wound care. I don't know that, and I'm wondering about the contracted staff and that not being sustainable. Just a question. I'm just wondering what you think about that.
What do you think about it?
The contracted part is like not sustainable. Like we're trying to employ and build our workforce. I don't know. Because I'm not really looking at what you're looking. I'm hearing you.
Right. I mean, no, I'm with you. I fundamentally have a problem with contracted employees. I think people should be hired to be full-time employees with benefits and all the security of people should have secured employment through employment, not through contracts. That's just my personal philosophy, but it's not.
Yeah, that language sounds very I don't like that language, contracting employees. What does that look like? Who they contracting? What the employees? Peers? Are they contracting? Or you
So
just
maybe
going
maybe it's just a matter of terminology, different terminology.
right? Because because I'm a peer. I don't think nobody can contract me to be a peer. I don't know. Maybe they can, but what would that look like? And then
It's employment versus being an independent contractor. An independent contractor, you're generally responsible for your own health care, paying your own taxes, holding out money to, and you don't get a W-2, you get a
right,
1099. And that's, in my mind, that's the difference between a contractor and an employee.
right. So that kind of like they're not being held accountable for their employees because they're contracting them out.
Well, I mean, people who are independent contractors, and that's
Right.
the term, are responsible for making sure that their own taxes get paid, and they're responsible generally for their own, maintaining their own level of benefits. And they usually negotiate a salary, negotiate an amount of money that's commensurate with being able to do that.
Right. So we would fund them to be able to pay for contractors, basically, right?
My about it is the sustainability of it and like building the workforce and not just little patches, I guess. But it sounds pretty all right. I got a few questions. I'm just concerned about the contracted worker part and if that's in alignment with our values.
So they're documenting all y'all concerns, but can we move to partially fund with the documentation of all their concerns that prefer no contract work?
I second the motion.
And Keisha's other concerns that she has and Ron's?
I think it's on you, Alfonso.
So, yeah, could you state the motion one more time? Just
We would like to partially fund them with taking in our concerns and to note the concerns that are being discussed.
okay. So the motion is to partially fund with the concerns noted and passed on to OHA.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right. Is there a second?
Yes, I seconded it.
All right. Thanks, Amy. And we will. Any further discussion? All right. We will further it to Walter.
All right. Motion on the table to partially fund Portland Street Medicine, Multnomah County. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes, to partially fund.
Okay. Onisha? Okay, there we go. Onisha?
Yes, to partially fund.
Okay. Ron?
Yes.
Okay. Amy?
Yes.
Okay. Hubert?
Yes.
All right. And Keisha?
Yes.
All right. And that passes with 6 to partially fund Portland Street Medicine, Multnomah County. Turning back to you, Alfonso.
All right. Thank you, Walter. The next organization that you'll be considering is Providence Portland Medical Foundation. If you have a conflict of interest with Providence, please declare it now. Okay, Providence is applying to provide SUD treatment and peer support services in Multnomah County. You can find the rubrics in the Multnomah 2 County Workbook under the Providence 1 and Providence 2 tabs. Both recommendations were yes to fund. I'll turn it over to the subcommittee for discussion or a vote.
Who is this again?
Say that again.
Who are we reviewing?
Oh, we're reviewing Providence Portland Medical Foundation. And it's under the tab Providence 1 and Providence 2.
I would like to request a proposal in the documents, please.
Please leave your.
Okay, Measure 110, can we provide that?
Yeah, these were, we actually requested these on Tuesday and they were sent out.
A second to look at them.
Okay,
Can we come back to this one so y'all don't have to wait on me?
I didn't see them either, but I'll look.
I don't know that we can move forward. And I'll ask the Measure 110 team, do we need to stay with this?
It sounds like they, did I hear a request for just a few minutes to look at it? Or do you all want to table it or?
Did you send these to us, Jessica?
Yes,
Providence?
Sydney sent these to you all in one email, all of the parking lotted applications.
She sent us a list, but I'm not seeing the budgets and the proposals.
Okay. Would
Is
you,
it?
They're all
Okay,
attached. Are they not coming through? Because if that's the
Okay.
problem,
I see it.
okay.
I'm still not seeing it.
Oh,
I see a lot of proposals, but I don't see that one.
so this is the one that's asking for the nursing assistants, 4 full FTEs for $207,000 and nurse managers at $55 an hour. And behavioral health care registered nurse at $55 an hour. So about $500,000 to pay for nurses. That's something we don't pay for.
Right. I do want to say, yeah, I understand them asking for that. I know we don't pay for that. And I hope they can understand that. I do think I like what they do, because there is not a lot of medical detox that does the in-depth care that they're doing. But yeah, the medical staff is always their more expensive part, but I know we don't do that. So,
Don't they get insurance money?
huh?
Don't they get money from insurances?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do. That can pay for
And
their
are they
medical staff.
providing MAT? I'd see the budget narrative, but I don't see the full proposal.
Yeah, and so when let me get back over here. Hold on, just give me 1 sec, get back over here.
Yeah, you sent us subsections. You didn't send us the full proposals to these.
that proposal is PPMF OHA 5308 application. And I apologize for that. I'm unclear on if we're able to change the names of the files that they have submitted because we're not supposed to touch anything. So I have to leave them in those crazy names and I apologize.
Okay, no apologies needed. Yeah, that's the biggest thing I'm seeing with the budget is this hospital staff. We can't pay for that. The peer specialists and the food cards and the gas cards look great. The outreach supplies for the peer specialists.
So do we want to partially fund excluding medical staff?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion to partially fund excluding medical staff.
And why do I have a question about the furniture as well. It looks like they're looking for construction design, engineer construction in the form of $2 million.
Yeah, that's the bulk of their budget is to build out the
Expanding.
actual facility.
Yeah, which is a highly needed in the area. I'll just say that because there are not any decent medical detoxes for these people. I've been, trust me, on the front line on that one too. But I understand if you want to evaluate it.
Are they going to provide MAT in these detoxes?
They
So I'm
do
just not-
because of the, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, because I'm moving to vote, but I'm not seeing the budget. I see bits and pieces, but I don't see it like a full budget.
And I see it in the budget narrative.
Mhm. Yeah. I just know that historically, when you have medical detox, they make available the needed drugs to help them get through the acute withdrawal stages of it, which those drugs will vary, of course, from Suboxone to Subutex for the pregnant ones to methadone. It can vary. But they also do clonidine, ropenolol, things like that for the restless legs, the burning of the skin, the anxiety, all those things that they in medical detoxes that they do.
Is that on the proposal?
No, because some of the people that were asking to build a detox specifically says. So yeah, it's in the proposal I just got from Cindy.
Yeah. You know, and it's 24 access to 24/7 trauma-informed crisis stabilization services for medically compromised individuals experiencing acute.
No, I take that back. This is a different one. I can't find this Providence full proposal.
So in the email that Jessica or Sydney sent, there should be 12 attachments.
I see them, but I see the 12 attachments, but which one? I see the budget is number one, the narrative, and then the budget again.
So is this mental health? And I'm a little confused.
Because it says to staff Sarah with appropriate SUD focused staff.
But I'm looking at like they partner with Unity. I'm not what the facility is. If it's for both, like we fund our half, but I'm not clear. I'm not clear.
So as I read this proposal, what they appeared to be offering, what it looked like to me that they were offering was to locate adjacent to their emergency room on Northeast Gleason. They wanted to locate a medical detox stabilization place adjacent to their emergency room in close in northeast Portland or the southeast Portland. And what they are asking for is the ability to build that out and to staff it for the purpose of stabilizing people who are in acute intoxication from meth, opiate, alcohol, and other substances. That's their proposal, and I thought it was a good one. And I think it's something that's really needed, and something that would be critical, and it's important, and we've got, and I feel like we have the resources, and I think we're kind of, sometimes I feel like we're operating from this kind of scarcity and poverty mindset that's
not really, but
I'm just expressing my opinion. Sometimes I know that it seems like we've got just all kinds of money to spend, and sometimes it seems like what I'm hearing is we need to pinch pennies, but I think we should fund good programs, and that's the thing that I kind of get twisted up about in my mind in terms of wanting to fund really good programs and not fund really bad programs. But I think when we look at it that way, that we'll get to a really solid place.
Well,
so
I don't
I'm looking
think
on page 2
when any bad program
about all their real quick when on page 2 where they laid out all their funding sources from Medicaid reimbursement, Monoma County funds, foundation grants, like and it says they have committed to funding for 75,000 for furniture bids. And so I'm just wondering, so what with all these funding streams, I'm just a little confused.
So it's, so I can tell you honestly that when you bill,
No.
for
'Cause,
the
like,
service,
I'm just trying to see, like, because I don't want to go from what I know, because we get in trouble when we go from what we know or what we expect. Just like, I'm just trying to, from the
I was just
proposal.
talking on the funding aspect of it. But that's okay. I'm good. I think it's a needed program, but whatever. I got a motion on the table to partially fund with excluding all medical providers. Because we don't do
Second.
that.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Motion on the table is to partially fund excluding medical.
Well, it sounds like we're still in discussion because we're reviewing these documents in real time and we're discussing it. But when I look at the itemized budget costs on the proposal, it doesn't look like they're asking for it. But then when I look at the budget in here, it does look like they're asking for those salaries.
Right, but OHA will negotiate all that out.
Yeah.
So that's the good part, you know. Too, is they're going to be looking at it. They're going to be looking at things like that. And you know, that's why I said partially funding. They're going to make the adjustments they need to make. They're going to move things to where they need to move them, but they're going to provide the needed services and continue to increase those services because we need them. Then we can move the people to the next phase, save some
Yeah.
lives, get the psychosis,
think
and
that-
alcoholism off the street.
I think that we do need a detox center. I don't think we have funded one yet.
Yeah.
And I think we do need this detox center. And it is in the heart of the city.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I think we should partially fund this.
Sounds good to me. That's my motion.
I second your motion, Amy.
Okay, just so that we're on the same page, and just so that you all know, we have note takers in the back that are trying to capture the key elements of what you're saying. So when you talk, just realize that we have them behind the scenes. So the motion, Amy, because I think it's important to be really clear about this. The motion that you made was to partially fund,
Yes.
excluding
Medical staff, as
medical staff.
due to we do not fund medical staffing.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
And then Ron seconded it.
Uh-huh.
And so I just want to make sure there's no further discussion. Does anyone have anything else they want to say? Okay, then I think we are ready for a vote. And I
Yay.
will hand it over to Walter.
All right. That was good. You guys were discussing. I like that.
Did we lose anybody? I don't see Keisha on the screen anymore.
Keisha's here?
I'm here. I'm
Okay.
here.
All right. There we go.
We got
Okay.
everybody, Onisha.
Yeah, we got them all. All right. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes, to partially fund.
Okay. Onisha?
Yes, to partially fund.
Okay. Ron?
Yes.
Okay. Amy?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Hubert?
Yes.
Okay. And Keisha?
Yes.
All right. That passes with 6 to partially fund Providence Portland Medical Foundation, Multnomah County. Back to you, Alfonso.
All right, just a note on the time, it's 5:35. Would you like to take a 5 or 10 minute break? 5 or 10?
10, please.
All right, let's take a break and we'll see you back here at around 6:35.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, we can go ahead and get started here shortly. We have Walter here. If you could either give me a thumbs up or turn on your screen if you're here. We got Sydney here.
I'm here, this is Melinda.
Oh, Melinda's here.
Hubert's on his way back in.
Okay,
I'm back.
thanks, Hubert.
I'm back.
All right, Onisha's back, Amy's back. Ron or Lakeisha, are you here? I think what we're missing is Ron. We'll give him a minute or two. Oh, Ron is back. All right, I think that's everyone, right? All right, we're good. All right, the next organization that you'll be considering is Southeast Works, Inc. If you have a conflict of interest with Southeast Works, please declare it now. All right, hearing none. Southeast Works is applying to provide supported employment in Multnomah County. You can find the rubrics in the Multnomah County workbook under the SE Works 1 and SE Works 2 tabs. The recommendations from both reviewers was to fund. And I'll turn it over to the subcommittee for, discussion or a vote.
I'm so sorry. Which one are we looking at?
That's okay. It is Southeast Works, Inc.
In the number 1 or number 2?
I'm sorry, yeah, Multnomah 2 workbook.
All right.
911 operator hung up on her because she was whispering.
Oh, what was the name again? I'm so sorry. I'm so sick.
Southeast Works 1 and 2.
Thank you.
What does it mean when they say disclaimer, this is intended to be collaborative among their burn? What does that mean?
Let me check with the Measure 110 team. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, but just like this one, the next couple of days.
What did it say, Onisha?
It says disclaimer, this is intended to be collaborative among their burn. And it's written under concerns and weakness identification tab.
I believe that means that they're going to collaborate with other agencies that are forming a burn.
So does that mean that that's a weakness?
I think it means
they wrote the weakness tab.
Yeah, I think that means that
they have weakness in that area.
Yeah, there's some issues. You know, a lot of the stuff that they're applying for is going to probably be a referral issue. We'll have to read through real careful.
Let's go to Sydney. I think Sydney was going to say something about that.
I was just going to clarify that the instruction given, oh, Jessica's back. Jessica, tell me to stop talking if I need to, but the direction that was given was if they do not perform the services within the organization, because each organization was reviewed as it stands alone, then that would be a weakness of the organization. If they're referring out, if another organization is taking care of the services that they're applying to provide, that's considered a weakness.
Well, so I think it's considered a weakness if the subcommittee thinks it's a weakness, right?
Well,
yeah,
they wrote it in the introduction and background. So the population served by the organization is in alignment with Measure 110 values and purpose. People who have a substance or substance use disorder and those most impacted by the war on drugs. So they wrote it there.
So so one of the kind of overall challenges I've had in kind of how we've gone about this process generally is that we initially in the RFGA ask organizations to collaborate and come together with other organizations and develop kind of collaborative networks to apply together. And so organizations did that. They came together, they developed these informal networks that they were identifying as these are going to be our partners that we're going to be working with to form a burn. And then once the instructions from OHA were provided to all of the applicants, the information from OHA was, it really doesn't matter if you have collaboration partners, you're going to be judged individually. But organizations had already submitted kind of collaborative applications saying, we're going to be working with these 6 or 10 or 12 organizations. And so a lot of the kind of shared responsibilities for establishing a burn are in a lot of these applications. So folks are saying, yeah, we're going to partner with these other organizations to ensure that this population or that population or this other population gets all of these services within this burn.
And I just want to clarify, like, OHA's direction is not that referring out to your burn partner is a weakness. Generally, that sometimes has been a way that folks have seen the applications, the way they have, folks have voted. But OHA gave, and you all gave in your RFGA, the ability for folks to apply as a full burn, as a partial burn, or as a single application, or as a single applicant. It was also in the RFGA, and that each application would be looked at each applicant would be looked at individually by themselves, and that was council value so that there wouldn't be a group of folks and then, apply together, and then there was one, like an organization slipped in that didn't align with your values. So it is 1,000,000% up to the subcommittee to decide whether that is a weakness or a strength.
I'm not seeing where they're saying they're going to refer out for this supportive employment. That's kind of what's confusing me. And the ask for a supportive employment program, that's it's
$1 million.
It's a lot of money for a supportive employment stuff. I mean, that's a lot of money. I think, I don't know. I'm not from the city per se, as you all are. I'm from back here in rural Oregon, where I see what our supportive employment program is like. And with only having 15 agencies, each has its own complex funding resources, I'm just kind of, I don't know. I mean, supportive employment is important. It's a good thing, but I'm not sure that, I'm not seeing, I mean, how does this support?
There's a lot of places where you can support employment. They're not
how
just
does this support the people most impacted by the war on drugs? How does this fit?
Okay.
There was still much more news ahead.
Thank you, Amy. We have Hubert was going to say something. Lakeisha, you have your hand up. Thank you.
I think there's a lot of places that support employment. That's, yeah, that to me, if that's your main focus, that's a big ask for just to want to do that piece. I just, and yeah, that's just my take on that.
Thanks, Hubert. Thanks. Keisha.
Well,
oh, sorry, Hubert, you weren't done.
I said you're welcome.
Oh, well, thank you, Hubert. I like that. Nice. Keisha, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I'm just unclear if it's like the traditional supported employment or they get like the other funding, or I'm just looking at this and I see, I'm just trying to disseminate if it's the traditional supported employment, like through, I think DHS or something? Or is this like something different that is really targeted towards those most impacted by the war on drugs? And like, I don't know, trying to
I mean,
figure it.
are they doing trainings and, to get people trained up to be gainfully employed?
It sounds like maybe we need to request to see the budget and the proposal.
They sent it out. I'm looking through it right now.
I see in here it says training placement. Training stipends will equate to a minimum wage of 15 per hour. Minimum wage in Portland is 14 per hour. This option will be offered to those with little to no current work experience or work references. Each client will earn $1,800 during this training period. Weekly checks are issued directly to the client. In the event someone is waiting for an ID, we have an arrangement with our bank for the client to cash their paycheck. Provide additional assistance like clothing or work and transportation. They recognize that addiction is a chronic medical condition, and they address relapse with staff, treatment providers. Training placements are 5 to 20 hours per week and align with the person's treatment and recovery plan and schedules. They are used as opportunity for individuals who have little or no work experience to gain job skills and hands-on training.
Okay.
So that answered that question.
So are they going to pay for like construction hub, people who want to go to hair school?
Right.
Pay for all that type of stuff?
Right.
It looks like they do a job training, skill training, but it doesn't say what.
With the people that went there, would they have the opportunity to say, hey, I want to go to hair school, or if I want to go to construction school?
Yeah, it doesn't say that.
I'm going to read a little further, Hubert. So, Objective of Southeast Works will provide low barrier supported employment services to people who experience substance use disorder as part of their treatment and recovery plan, so they can improve their economic well-being.
Right.
To meet this objective, at least 200 people in substance use disorder treatment and recovery from within the BHRN in Multnomah County that they're partnering with. Goals for 200 will be offered one-to-one case management. 200 will be offered pre-employment services, resume, interview practice, scholarship workshop. 200 will be offered supported employment services in accordance with their treatment plan. 100 will be offered a stipend for training. This stipend will equate to a minimum of $15 per hour. Minimum wage in Portland 14. 140 increasing access to supporting employment will enter full or part-time competitive employment based on their individual choice and their treatment recovery goal. 50 or 25% will secure at least one occupational skill training or career advancement, GED, pre-apprenticeship, forklift, flagging, OSHA training, wellness certification. So
that's good.
I know I can't talk about the fact that I was the manager of the West Portland One Side.
So why you talking about it then,
Ron?
Don't do it.
You're supposed to cough when you do that, Ron. You're supposed to go, I know.
But I find this proposal, this is a solid supported employment proposal. I support it.
Yeah, it does. That sounded good.
Okay, y'all, we gotta listen, just real quick. I love y'all, but we have note takers who are trying to take notes right now, and it's real hard when everybody talks over each other.
I know.
You're just testing your skills.
Thanks, Amy.
You're welcome.
Okay, Keisha, your hand is up. Thank you.
So one thing I see, it's limited to the certifications. I don't know if they can expand that or not, but I see the traditional food handling, forklift flagging, and peer wellness, but like other like barber, beauty, I don't see none of that. I see the staffing costs and operations. I don't know if them are together or separate, but the staffing cost is almost $500,000 on its own.
Yeah, that's right. That seems right.
Thank
Well,
you.
what is it? No, it's staff and operating. Close to 600.
But
And the
aren't they already staffed though?
I just want a nice portion to go to client services, client needs.
Yeah, that's right. So the client, looks like the client services budget is 245,000.
Yeah, but
And
this
the
would be more extensive. This budget would be more extensive for client services because they're paying for their trainings. And I would like to see their trainings be more
Expanded?
Yeah, just a little more broad because everybody doesn't need to be a peer mentor. Everybody doesn't want to be.
Right. I agree.
Not everybody should be.
Right.
Right.
So they need to have more choices like barber, beautician, nail tech, whatever you can dream of being. They need to support.
So what's the motion?
So how can we make that
I
happen?
hit the up actually.
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. We can't take notes if you do that.
Keisha, I think Keisha's up.
Yeah. So I want to make a motion to partially fund with negotiations on the broader range of certifications and the staffing cost, negotiations on the staffing costs.
Second.
All right, so let's see if we can get that motion together. So it sounds like, Keisha, what you said, I just want to make sure I followed it and everybody's got it on our side. You made a motion to partially fund with expanded training options and negotiating the staffing costs.
Yes.
Okay, what? Okay. So we have that motion on the table from Keisha. We had a second from Hubert?
Yep.
All right. We got a second. Is that who seconded it or was it Ron?
No, that was Ron.
Sorry, Ron. Sorry, Hubert. Ron seconded it.
All right.
Okay. So Keisha made the motion. Ron seconded it. Is there any more discussion? Here. Okay, hearing none, Walter.
All right. Motion on the table to partially fund Southeast Works, Multnomah County. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes, to partially fund.
Okay. Thanks, Melinda. Onisha?
Yes, to partially fund.
All right. Thanks, Onisha. Ron?
Yes.
All right, Ron. Amy?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Amy. Hubert?
Yes.
Thanks, Hubert. And Keisha?
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Keisha. And that passes with 6 to partially fund Southeast Works, Inc., Multnomah County. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you. You're doing it, y'all. We're getting it done. Okay. The next organization that you all will be considered. Oh, and Alfonso says bye. And he misses you already. No, take it over for it.
All right.
The next organization is Stone Soup HRC in your Multnomah County 2 workbook. If anyone has a conflict of interest with Stone Soup HRC, please declare it now. Hearing none, Stone Soup HRC is applying to provide harm reduction and supported employment. You have 2 recommendations. One is a yes partial, the other is a yes. You can find those on your Stone Soup 1 and Stone Soup 2 tabs in your Multnomah County 2 workbooks. Sending it back to the committee.
Yeah, this is something that Sydney sent back out, so I'm just trying to find it. It's hard toggling all those in this short amount of time. Hold on.
Well, you know, we do have a whole nother month of these meetings scheduled. If y'all want to, no, I'm just kidding.
I just want to, my recollection is this one was tabled because of the concern regarding the harm reduction conversation that took place, that needed to take place yesterday. So there was a concern that with the harm reduction advice that we were going to be getting, that we should hold off on making additional harm reduction. And so we tabled this for that reason.
I thought we tabled it to look at the budget and the proposal, but.
Well, we said let's send out everything so that everybody would have everything and be ready today.
I make a motion not to fund.
Thank you, Onisha. We have a motion not to fund. Do we have a second? Onisha made a motion not to fund. Do we have a second?
What was the recommendations from the reviewers?
We have a yes partial and a yes. It's under the Stone Soup 1 and Stone Soup 2 tabs in your Multnomah County Workbook 2. We still have a motion on the floor, but it sounds like people are still reading, Onisha, so we'll just wait for a second.
Onisha, can I ask you why you didn't want to fund, or why you would be opposed to a partial fund?
With all of the questions about the harm reduction, and we just funded Southeast Works to do the supported employment. Southeast Works has been doing supported employment for a long time. And in our rubrics, one of the questions that they asked us was, have you funded someone in the county to do this supported employment or whatever already? And what would you rate them? Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So I'm making my decision based on that. And unfortunately, I'm a little different than Ron. I'm not coming from a loss perspective or some speech he gave about pension pennies, but it's more practical. There is $58 million that we have reserved for Multnomah County, and they put those questions on our rubrics for a reason. Have you already picked somebody in this county to do this service? Would you rate them as number 1 or number 2? And since Southeast Work, that's their specific thing, I rate them as number 1.
Right. Do you feel that you would consider this entity for harm reduction services only as a funding option? Because it sounds like they go out and do wound care and abscess
I would
prevention.
totally, I just don't know. I would totally agree to do the harm reduction services only and take out the supported employment. I just don't know if we're at the point where we're saying we harm reduction, and yes, I would be. I agree to fund them for harm reduction services only with a partial fund on that.
I would second your motion.
Okay, I make a motion to fund them for harm reduction services only.
And I second her motion.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table to fund partially for harm reduction services. We have a second from Amy. It looks like we have some discussion from Lakeisha.
Yeah, as I'm looking at the budget, it's top heavy, program coordinator, outreach director, accounts administrator, and data consultant, peer trainer and coordinator, Southeast Peer Overdose Prevention Specialist, but I'm not seeing CRMs or peer supports in the staffing section.
Thanks, Keisha. Any other discussion? Hearing none.
So I'm just wondering if we should exclude all that. I don't know how to say it. Like all that staff that's really not in alignment. And I don't know how we do that.
All right, Amy?
I think we can notate that concern and have them consider that in their contract negotiation as we move forward with OHA in our notes that you're taking right now.
Oh, now you want us to take note? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying, you know.
I'm just kidding. We're
Hey, I
taking
raised my
notes.
hand.
I
I
know.
raised my hand.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Amy. I'm trying to lighten it up a little bit in here. Okay, Keisha, you still have your hand up. Did you have a thought?
Nope. I don't know. Did that need to be included in the motion or no? Did it need to be restated or is it fine as it is?
Well, we are collecting your concerns. It's always up to you how you make your motion. We are collecting your concerns. And that's going to be up to Onisha whether she wants to keep her motion the same as it is or to
Retract my motion and I'll let somebody else make the motion.
I make the motion not to fund.
All right, now we have a motion on the table not to fund. Stone Soup HRC, do we have a second?
Oh, okay. I'm sticking to my motion.
Okay, so we would need a second in order to vote on that. Y'all are testing my public meeting knowledge right now.
So, can I make a motion?
We have a motion on the table.
Just for my clarity, I thought we had a motion to fund
Onisha
the harm
rescinded it.
reduction. So, okay.
She rescinded it. Hubert made a motion not to fund, and he is standing strong.
I'm standing strong. I am.
I'm just trying to look at the budget real fast for just harm reduction.
Okay, why don't we take, it's been, 45 minutes. When we take 5 minutes, let y'all read the budget, let you get where you need to be. The last thing we want to do is make a fast decision and not one that everybody's comfortable with. Sound good?
Yes, please give us 10 minutes, please.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Hey, guess what? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. All right. 6:25. We will come back and we'll find out where y'all are at. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you. Uh-huh.
Are we back?
I'm
I'm
back.
here. This is Melinda.
Melinda's back. Amy's back.
I'm back.
Keisha's back. Walter's back. Sydney's back.
I want to second the motion on the table.
I'm back.
Okay, hold on, hold on. Let's make sure everybody's back. Y'all are gonna break me again. It's gonna be one of them nights.
Look,
Okay,
I can't find my prednisone, so we need to get going. No, just kidding.
I'm back. I'm back too.
okay, Hubert's back. Okay, Ron, are you back?
I was able to read more, and that's why I seconded Hubert's motion.
Real
Me
quick,
too.
we're gonna hold on. Let's go ahead and make sure we have everybody back. Ron, are you back? Okay, I don't want to start because I don't want any, I want to be thoughtful.
Let's wait until we hear something coherent from Ron. I agree.
He right there. Speak, Ron.
Here I am.
Now they want some coherent, Ron.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey.
Okay. We're all back. We have a motion. We have a motion on the table from Hubert not to fund. We have a second now from Amy, and we have a hand up from Keisha.
Yeah, I was just reading more, and it looks like supported employment consists of kit assemblers.
Okay, thank you for that, Keisha. Any more discussion? Okay, am I hearing some or none? Okay, hearing none. We have a motion not to fund Stone Soup HRC from Hubert. We have a second from Amy. And Walter, when you are ready.
Oh, there we go. All right. Motion to not fund Stone Soup, HRC, Multnomah County. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes, not to fund.
Okay. Onisha?
Yes, not to fund.
Okay. Ron?
Yes.
Okay. Amy?
Yes.
Okay. Hubert?
Yes, not to fund.
Okay. And Keisha?
Yes.
All right. That passes with 6 not to fund Stone Soup, HRC, Multnomah County. Back to you, Jessica.
All right. So next on our agenda that we have not already voted on is the Everly project. Does anyone have a conflict of interest that they would like to declare for the Everly project? Hearing none. The Everly project is applying to provide harm reduction in Multnomah County. You have 2 recommendations. Both are yes. And those recommendations can be found on your Everly Project 1 and Everly Project 2 tabs in your Multnomah County 2 workbook. And with that, I turn it over to the subcommittee.
If we get this,
I'm sorry, Keisha, you were cutting out. What was that?
did we get sent this additional information or no?
I am looking at the email. 1 second. No, we didn't. You all did.
It's not on my list. Nope.
Y'all did not get the Everly project. You have you do have an organization tabled, right? So you can table this and request the application. And I just want to call out that is not Sydney's fault. That was my fault. Sydney was not here. So It is my fault, Hubert, that you don't have it. So
Oh, it's my fault?
no, it's my fault.
Oh,
It's Hubert's fault. Everybody, it's Hubert's fault. You dropped the ball.
uh-oh.
So just as we are moving forward with tabling this, I just want to say what my understanding of this program is. It's a harm reduction, outer southeast Portland. They want to do syringe exchange, naloxone distribution, overdose prevention, wound care, safer drug supplies, HIV and hepatitis testing, overdose prevention facilities. They'll distribute harm reduction kits. We are a mobile team who will conduct monthly outreach kit distribution to homeless camps and tent communities in outer southeast Portland. And that's just an overview.
Thanks
And
so
it doesn't look like they're asking for an extension budget. It looks like $89,000.
Yes.
So they're not, they couldn't be asking for salary.
That's a hand up.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Amy.
So I don't think we need to table this. I was just looking at it too, and there's it's not a large ask for the services that they are providing. I mean, to the community, harm reduction we know is very much needed. Looking at it, they're not in ridiculous amount. I'd like to make a motion to fund.
Thank you, Amy. So we have a motion on the table to fund. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so Amy has made a motion to fund the Everly project in Multnomah County. We have a second from Ron. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none. Walter?
Okay. Here we go. Motion to fund the Everly project, Multnomah County. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes, to fund.
Okay. Onisha?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Onisha. Ron?
Yes.
Thanks, Ron. Amy?
Yes.
Thanks, Amy. Hubert?
Yes.
Thanks, Hubert. And Keisha?
Yes.
All right. And that passes with 6 to fund the Everly project, Multnomah County. Back to you, Jessica.
Thanks so much, Walter. The next organization that you all will be considering this evening is the Insight Alliance. Does anyone have a conflict of interest that they'd like to declare for the Insight Alliance? Hearing none, the Insight Alliance is applying to provide peer support and housing in Multnomah County. There are 2 recommendations. They are both yes. You can find those recommendations under the Insight 1 and Insight Alliance 1 and Insight Alliance 2 tabs in your Multnomah County 2 workbook. Turning back to the subcommittee.
I make a motion to fund.
Hold on, I'm reading this. I don't know. Oh, the budget narrative.
Okay, I just want to recognize that we do have a motion to fund on the table. Keisha would like some more time.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, so
Just considering her discussion.
okay, thank you. So we have a motion on the table from Onisha to fund the Insight Alliance. We have a second from Amy. We have a request from Keisha to give her some time. And so we can take that time during our discussion period, which is now. So if there's any other discussion that you would like to have, please do so.
Yeah, I'm just looking, and it says their mentors will be peer wellness specialists, and I don't know how. I haven't seen an addiction peer wellness training, but I don't know. Let me find the other document too.
They offer that through MacBook.
No, they don't. Not Peer Wellness. Well, I'm not sure.
So Keisha, if it helps, I do believe there is a THW designation that is peer wellness specialist with an addiction focus. If that helps.
I thought that we wrote in the addendum that all the peers had to be CRNs for Measure 110 money.
That is in your rules. You define what peer positions you will fund. Keep in mind that the rules were written after or finalized after the application came in. So if there is a program that you want to fund that uses peer wellness specialists, they will have to be in line with your Chapter 944 rules, which outlines which peers you would fund. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever we wrote in those major rules, all these people have to come into alignment with if they choose to accept this money.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So on the document sent that for Inside Alliance, I think it's might be page 2, where it asks what types of peers work in your entity, and it says the Inside Alliance has its own unique peer mentor program rooted in our Insight to Wellbeing curriculum. Our peer mentors are trained to provide mental health support to peers receiving services.
Thank you, Keisha. Any more discussion?
If they accept this money, they have to get into alignment with our rules.
Well, we can only.
It says additionally, since there is significant intersection between incarceration and addiction, we'll be sending all peer mentors through training to become peer wellness specialists.
Thank you, Ron. I think Melinda, were you about to say something?
Yeah, I was trying to, but I'm switching between screens on my tablet. So I think it was 25D. It said something.
Take your time, Melinda. We'd love to hear from you. So if you need to toggle, you toggle.
Okay, which group are we in now again?
We are in Multnomah County 2, the Insight Alliance.
Yep, the Insight Alliance. Okay. Go over there. Okay, so in 25D, it says the majority of our peer mentors identify as Black, Indigenous, people of color, and can provide culturally specific services. An area of growth for our peer mentorship and insight well-being programs is providing linguistically specific services. B1.
Thanks, Melinda. Keisha, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I was just commenting on the them sending their peer mentor. If somebody doesn't have that lived experience, you can't just send them to training just because you want that. I don't know. It's just. Whew.
So are you saying that you don't have to be you have to have lived experience to be a peer mentor, a peer support specialist?
It would make sense.
Yes, you have to have lived experience, either being, if you're a mental health peer, you have to have mental health experience. If you're an addiction peer, you have to have experience with addiction.
So, okay, but it doesn't have to be you necessarily. It could be a family member, right?
Well, that's
that had an addiction that you were around.
That's a different credential, and that's a family support specialist. So a family member couldn't be a CRN, but they can be a family support specialist.
So can I say something to that? You're right. So a peer mentor, a peer or CRM or a recovery mentor, whichever however you want to say it, that has to be a person with lived experience. If the person does not have direct experience or is a family member of an addict, right, or a person who uses drugs, they are eligible to become the peer wellness or the traditional healthcare worker because they've had some kind of experience, lived experience in the world of addiction, but they are not actually the addict. In the peer training that I ran, that is exactly how they classified it with MacBook. So
That's
the
how they
person,
did it, the one I took too.
yeah, the person, like my son wanted to get the peer training. He got the peer training, but he had to enroll as a traditional healthcare worker peer because he doesn't actually have an addiction. He just lived with somebody who was horribly in addiction.
Thank you, Amy.
So,
Keisha.
so let me tell you, from being the chair of the Traditional Health Workers Commission, traditional health worker isn't a designation. It's the overall umbrella for different certifications. So a community health worker, peer support, personal health navigator, they're all traditional. They fall under the traditional health worker umbrella. Now there's a designation between family support specialist and a peer support specialist and addiction peer, a CRM. So they're different designations. You cannot be a CRM. You have to be the direct person who has the lived experience with addiction. But you can be a family support specialist if somebody in your family has addiction, but it's not the same thing.
Thank you, Keisha. So I'm going to have to refer to our wonderful, fabulous note takers to Ron. Yep, go ahead.
This is really more of a question than a statement, which is, and it pertains to their proposal, which says our peer mentorship program provides one-on-one support to individuals with an emphasis on those who have experienced incarceration. This means that 100% of our peer mentors have also experienced incarceration. The majority of our peers are identified Black, Indigenous, and people of color. And so that statement to me is relevant to the population that we serve, folks who have been impacted by the war on drugs.
I also like their housing part, the transitional housing, D23.
Yeah, let me raise my hand. Sorry.
Thank you, Melinda. Was that all you had to say?
For now.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't cutting you off. All right, Keisha.
Yeah. I like the caveat of them having, being culturally specific and having incarceration, but that has nothing to do with having an addiction issue. Some people are just criminals, and suffer from criminal things that has nothing to do with drugs and addiction. So I don't want to lump them and just assume. I'm just looking, I guess I'm looking for the addiction part of things and everything we do. Like that was our concrete value. And I guess that's what I'm looking for.
Thanks, Keisha. Onisha, did you have something you wanted to say? Sorry, I thought
I'm just reading through this.
How much are they asking for?
They're not asking for that much. I think it's like 500, like $500,000.
So can we partially fund them with that, with saying that they have to add some peer support SUD?
The caveat is that it's addiction peer wellness specialists that they would add. The staff positions would have to be addiction peer wellness specialists. Is that right, Keisha?
I haven't seen a curriculum come out that's addiction peer wellness training, but there is a peer wellness training that is credentialed. I haven't seen an addiction specific one. Don't mean it ain't one, but it's
you could be a peer support specialist as an A&D or a mental health peer support specialist. That's what that is. Or you can be
Yeah, I'm
So
just
sometimes I feel the pressure to get through these, like, you gotta hurry up and get through. And so as I'm pausing and looking through and just searching for what Keisha is saying, the writers did write in a lot of questions about provide more, like writer. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly where I'm at so y'all can find it.
All right.
The Inside Alliance #1 wrote fuller description of partnering organizations, how you work with them, provide more information about the types of peer services. You describe different types of peers, but you don't describe the services that are pertinent to your program. Clarify needs and purpose of mini grant and how it differs from stipends. So it looks like they're handing out stipends, and I hope to God they're not paying peers in stipends.
Right. Oh boy.
Can we've already requested have we received their budget and their proposals?
Yes, you have.
Okay.
On Tuesday. Yep.
Okay. Can we table them for now?
Okay, so real quick, I think if I can remember,
Is there a motion? I'm so sorry.
I think you made the motion, Onisha.
I will rescind the motion and just table them.
Okay, so
just to give us more time to look at it, because I just feel like, we're getting through this really fast, and we had a big chunk of people to go through in Multnomah County, so I'm super proud of ourselves. We're ahead of schedule. So if it's something we're really not clear about, I prefer to look at it a little closely. Even if we could look at it during our meeting time. Because trying to schedule time in between 3 kids and 2 jobs, and then looking at it last minute when the council comes on, it doesn't seem
fair.
So can I say something? We did make the offer to give y'all the first 30 minutes of the meeting time, scheduled meeting time, to read these. And that still stands if y'all want to do that. Obviously we can't do it today.
Right.
But it sounds like you rescinded your motion, you made a motion to table it. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Melinda. So Nisha made the motion to table, seconded by Melinda. Any more discussion? Keisha, you have your hand up. Okay. Any more discussion or any discussion? Hearing none. Walter.
All right. Motion on the table to table the Inside Alliance Multnomah County. Melinda, how do you vote?
Yes to table.
Okay. Onisha?
Yes to table.
Okay. Ron?
Yes, I agree that, the fact that, we are a little bit ahead of schedule and folks are feeling rushed. I don't want people to feel, it would be unfortunate for people to feel like they're being pushed through this process. People should take the time to really reflect and digest and have a full understanding of these proposals, because it's worth it to the people that need these services, and it's worth it for the funding that we're expending. So, yes.
Thanks, Ron. Amy?
Yes.
Okay. Hubert?
Yes.
Okay. And Keisha?
Yes.
All right. And that passes with 6 to table this motion, the Inside Alliance, Multnomah County. Turn it back to you, Jessica.
Thank you. And can I just say thank you all for just being so thoughtful and committed to supporting each other. This is really, really a beautiful thing to see. I'm in all honesty and seriousness. All right. The next organization on y'all's schedule is the Marie Curie Institute. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Let me raise my
Uh-oh.
They still gotta give you a spiel about conflict of interest, and then I'll speak.
Walter made me laugh. Hold on.
What is that word? Equi?
I don't know. I keep pronouncing it different every time. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's been a very long day.
I got a cramp.
It's a name of a person and it's a Equi.
Equi?
I was close.
It's what I've heard. It's what I've heard
Okay.
said to me. So
What did I say? Equi? I was close.
I really apologize, y'all. I just got the giggles. I don't know why.
Right.
It's been a long day. So I'm going to compose myself right now.
All right.
And ask if there's a conflict. Thank you, Ron. And ask if there is a conflict of interest with the Marie Equi Institute.
You did it. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
What you say? We could just call it me. She said, you just call it me.
All right. It looks like Keisha.
Yeah, so this is another proposal that was in the bunch, and I feel like it would be rushed. I couldn't make all the ones that were sent out, and I don't know. I think
Okay, so would you like to table this, Keisha? Is that what you're saying?
I make a motion. We in for the day.
Okay. Okay.
Then
Okay, hold on. Okay. So we are, we're just gonna call it, we're gonna pretend like we laugh and never happened. We're just gonna pretend this last 5 minutes didn't exist. Seriously, can we just get a motion to table and then we can be done?
I motion to table Marquis Equi.
Second.
All right.
Somebody take over for Jessica.
Walter?
we're done for the day.
Yeah, we
Go ahead, Walter.
Okay, who made who seconded that motion? Onisha made the motion. Ron did. Okay. You guys ready to vote?
Yes.
Motion to table the Marie Equi Institute. Belinda, how do you vote?
Yes, table.
Okay. Onisha?
Yes, to table.
Okay. Ron?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Thank you, Amy. And Hubert?
Yes.
And Keisha?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That passes with 6 to table.
All right. I want to see everybody's face right now. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you
Who
so
knows
much for this. We laughed, we cried, we got through it. We're going to get through the rest of these on Tuesday. Y'all are doing fantastic. You're being so thoughtful, and I just absolutely appreciate every single one of you, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Jessica, I just got one request. For all the ones that's left, if we don't have the application and budget, can you just send them?
Yeah, that will make it easier. And I have another request too. Are we off YouTube Live?
No.
Yes. We're not?
Can we-
No,
We're
we're
not?
not. Mm-mm.
Well, why was it last? Why not?
We're recording, right?
We're on YouTube Live until
We are
we.
still live.
We
Yeah.
are still live. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And I think because the meeting's over, we can end the YouTube Live.